With 2 games done, the winners, JMC and Skeet, are about to head into one more duel to see who will be the top dog for now. My name is Robin Crasher Engström. I'm joined by Tenchi. It's been quite the rough cast so far for us two, but there's more to be done.
I don't know. I kind of like giggly and stuff, man. I don't know why. I had a bit of a dip in energy in the previous series. I think because I was finding it somewhat uninteresting in terms of how damn well Skeet were playing. And it was just like another one of these crushes that we saw, similar to what we had there on Mirage with JMC series. But now we get to have these two forces collide. And, you know, the eternal question is, what do you get, or what happens when you have the unstoppable force meet the immovable object? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, it's everything's just going to blow up and, you know, destroy everything. But here, we'll certainly get our answer, because JMC, they've been playing extremely well, and Skeet certainly showing some sort of prowess in the gameplay. So now the question is, who do you think will win between these two?
It's really hard to say, man. I mean, first and foremost, we don't have the map list just yet. So that's going to probably be one of the more important things to look at and discuss as well throughout this series. I don't know. Because I don't know the exact depth of either of these teams' map pools. I think JMC has a decently... like they've got an okay depth to theirs. For instance, being very solid on Overpass is like a really good sign. Because we have... you know, you'd be like, you have the more standard pug maps. That's Cache, Mirage, Inferno, maybe. Inferno, maybe, I'm going to say. Yeah. But then you have the more technical maps. Then I'm talking about Nuke, I'm talking about Overpass Train. Those where you have to have a very solid kind of setup. You need to have a well-structured team where communication works well. Because if you have one team that does all of those things, they check all the boxes, then you have another team that has like all the pug stuff going on. The pug team are probably going to get absolutely destroyed. Like, that's what you'll see. We are going to be heading up towards Overpass for game 1 at least.
Yeah.
So
it's just going to be a repeat of the previous games.
Both series.
Every single game now so far has been on Overpass, and the second game has been on Mirage. So with this, I'm guessing that JMC is going to take this. That's my prediction because of how dominant they were on Overpass in itself. Cool. And with Skeet actually getting overtime.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking about, right? Because they crushed them on Mirage. But on Overpass, maybe maybe Skeet are a little bit more towards that other, direction I was talking about. I don't know.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen because Skeet, from what I saw, again, just considering the Overpass, I'm thinking that Mirage may be a little bit more equal because Mirage is one of those maps where you play it constantly contra Overpass because Overpass, like you said, technical map, and there's a lot of different angles that you can take. And again, it's one of those moments where you have to try and think. Because personally, I don't have too much experience of JMC or Skeet. I know that you've been watching a whole lot of JMC, so you're rather known with the team. Or rather knowledgeable. You know what they've been doing. You've seen them in action several times before. So I think you have a lot more information based on the matches that we've seen so far.
Yeah, but I think that for what I was coming to expect from them, at least in this first set, it's somewhat played out. It's going to be super interesting to see them actually run into some real opposition now, I'm hoping at least. Because it could also just be a complete toss-up where Skeet get absolutely destroyed here on Overpass. Yeah. And then game number 2 is where things start happening.
Yeah. So we are just waiting for the players to join into the server. But, Lucas.
Yes.
I have a surprise for you.
What is the surprise?
We are going to play a little game called Guess the Gun.
Guess the Gun? Sure.
Guess the Gun.
I can always
Can we get the picture up, please? So, what is the gun?
Okay. Produced by FN... Produced by Fabrique Nationale in Belgium. The first concept idea was in 1976. Fires a 5.7 by, I believe it's 5.7 by 30mm cartridge. High velocity, maximum velocity speed is about 580 feet per second. Comes in 3 variants. You have the civilian, non-hotpoint. You have the police/military armor-piercing round, and then you have the standard ball ammunition. And it's the P90.
The fact that you know all that information is impressive and at the same time rather scary. Oh,
I like that was fun. That was fun, man.
That was fun.
Can we do another one?
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, do another one.
All right, let's bring up the next slide as soon as we can because we have a couple more.
Wait, whose idea was this?
This was our producer's idea, but when I saw it, I said, "Don't tell Lucas," because I wanna.
You were hoping that I was not gonna recognize the silhouette of the.
No. I wasn't hoping. I was just hoping that it would be fun, and it certainly proved to be more fun than I expected.
The B-Rush friendly preferred weapon of any CS:GO noob.
Exactly.
All of my friends that are like new to the game, they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to play." I'm like, "Yeah, play AK." I'm like, "No, it's so hard to spray. I'll buy a P90."
Yeah, exactly.
Now they can start buying the MP5.
Yeah, so if you guys at home want to play along, just make sure that you stay ready here on the channel because we have the next slide ready. Let's show it. What weapon is this?
Are you real? It's a 5.7. It's the same cartridge. It's the same specs, everything. No, the idea with the P90 and the 5.7, I mean, it's named the 5.7 after the caliber because they wanted to have them pieced together. And it's like it was one of the first pistols to fire an armor-piercing cartridge that could penetrate Class 3A body armor.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And again, it's scary that you know that all that information. We're gonna have
also
to
look at that. Look at that. It says 5.7. F and N are capitalized for the company FN, Fabrique Nationale from Belgium.
I did not know that.
Now
We're gonna have to do some more difficult images.
If you want to challenge me, you're gonna have to take guns out of CS because I can probably tell you everything about the CS guns.
Okay.
I think the only one that I'm not too familiar with is probably the Negev.
Okay.
That's it.
Well then, there we have it on black and white. You know all the guns in CS.
I know all the guns in CS.
We're gonna have to produce some.
You're gonna have to
produce all the guns.
Yeah, you have to step up your game if you want to like give me a hard one.
Well, then we have it for the next week, I guess. Anyway, seems like we are getting a little bit more information. Did I hear correct that we're going in game?
Are we? Ooh, I'm keen, man. I'm actually really excited.
Almost.
I got this energy boost now that I was getting ready for this game, JMC versus Skeet. So if you guys are just joining us, of course, this is the Nordic Championship. We've just kicked off the new season. And, well, it is, of course, Counter-Strike. Knife round, overpass. That's the deal. And, yeah, there's not too much to say. I think the only one time I've ever seen an interesting moment of commentating over a knife round is that famous clip of Sadokist going absolutely ham on train. That was the only one time I was like, holy, this was good.
Yeah, it's difficult to be a rap god like Sadokist. I mean, it's one of the things that I want to be able to do when I become much better at casting than I am right now. I mean, you can hear right now, I'm just choking. I'm just doing like Eminem and 8 Mile in the beginning of the movie. Be rabbits. Be rabbits choking in the middle of a rap down or a rap battle.
Rap down. I like that. I like that. Guys, we're having a rap down.
All right.
You go to the rap down tonight? Hell yeah.
The round has begun. JMC versus Skeet. We'll see which one of these teams will take the first round. Already you had Remore forced to retreat after spawning out a lot of members in mid. They're actually doing the tactic called the snake, where they are pushing in towards long and then through toilets down underground, hoping to get all of the rotation up towards A while they are striking at B. And for now, it's certainly showing to be effective as Barry, the one man left on the B side, now getting information that people are there. Now they're actually going backwards, leaving one man behind, getting the frag onto Barry, opening up the B side, but that's not going to matter because they're moving their way up towards A.
Look at this, man. They've rotated up, but now they're going to start moving their players down to it. Again, leaving that position wide open. This is a brilliant strategical play by Skeet. They're going to be leading things up into it. Bomb is going to go down, planted over towards bathrooms, trying to get up there. Chaos is not going to find anything. And now Colibrin as well finding himself up against 3 people. Typos getting flanked as well, really hard now. Remoy, last man left, 1 versus 3. He's got the body armor to work with, but remember, no helmet. All these Glocks and acquired USPs are going to be absolutely lethal. We don't even have any Glocks in play. It's a P250. So 1 shot is all it takes to end their pistol dream, and there it comes through. Skeet is going to pick up the pistol round decisively.
Indeed, they will. Didn't have a diffuse kit on him either. There was nothing that Remoy could have done at that point, because if there was not enough time on the clock, Skeet with the double down rotation on towards B, and then, or back, first through long, then towards B, then back towards A, getting the bomb plant down, just running over GMC. And so far, I'm having high expectations for this, just looking at the first round. Now with weapons in hand, you see Skeet. They are just pulling all the stops. AKs on 4 members. MP5 on 1. And that MP5 getting a bit of damage, but it's the AK that's doing work.
Oh, well, well. I mean, it's always going to be a tall order when you're up against this kind of buy. MP5 on only 1 man. I've got mixed feelings about going for full rifle like this, because if you end up losing 1 or 2 members, especially if CTs decide to go super aggressive and isolate a play, let's say an underground, then that's an AK gone, and an AK is a great equalizer in terms of the firepower.
Ooh.
So I think maybe going for like a 2-1, if you know what I mean. I think that is what I'm more interested to see. Okay, so someone has forgotten their EAC. That's a bit clumsy.
Dotty.
What are you doing, buddy?
Oh, and that was exactly what you were talking about before, losing one of the AKs due to the Deagle. Headshot, one shot
another one.
Enough. And 1 more. Okay, so 2 AKs left. JMC doing work. With the bomb down in toilets, KS definitely has a chance of shutting them down. Let's see what happens. Ale tapping away, can't connect any shots. It's Remoy up on a site, hoping that he can pull some distraction away. 2 members from JMC close towards Underground, hoping that they can get them in the flank. 2 more members actually falling from JMC, so Skeet doing a good job of bringing this back. KS, though, he doesn't want to let them get any further in towards the site or the map.
Oh, but this flank, though, this flank is going to be the one that seals the deal. There it is. Equalizer for JMC. Well played. Okay, so, of course, the pause comes on in. We're going to give Dotty some time to just get all of the stuff going that he needs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very good recovery. And I was a little bit worried about them going in like that, guns blazing with those AKs. And, you mean, they got punished for it. Obviously, at the very end of things, it wasn't so much about the AKs being there. It was just some good movement coming out from JMC. But they were still risking a lot.
Yeah.
And now, by doing this, economically, they've hurt themselves quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you had every right to be somewhat skeptical of their AK buys because of just what happened with the pistols, close range, Deagles and CSEDs. You have to respect that power.
You'll see as well that the mentality for many of these players change when they have an AK. They're taking a little bit slower, which means that they don't have, they don't do the same kinds of movements, right? When you have an SMG, that sort of pushes you a little bit more to be going a little bit quicker, maybe being more aggressive, and then you're going like 2 or 3 guys with SMGs, close range. There's really nothing you can do to stop that with only a lone pistolman. Well, with the AKs, gave them enough space and time simply because the Ts were taking it slow. They were taking their sweet time and getting up there to close the gap, and they had to pay dearly for it. Grenade touches down as well, just barely doing enough damage there to drop Ale. And now JMC have a pretty significant advantage.
3 Deagles on Skeet. Hoping they can do some work. Do have BBX close up on short. Spade towards Monster and Dotty. Especially Dotty is close on short and BBX is covering the rotation. But that doesn't matter because the bomb has been dropped towards Monster. And the remaining 2 members on the Skeet, they are just being forced into a chokehold. Managing to find 1 frag that's rather good. Trying to open up the side and the options a little bit. You still have to make your way around towards the bomb in order to pick it up. 3 men on JMC just trained on that bomb position. And Dotty cannot find the frag for himself. BBX left alone with 30 seconds to spare. Not a whole lot of time, not a whole lot of options. He needs to make a move and he needs to make it fast and actually hit the shots like it did with KS. 2 men. Remoy and Colabrine, Famas and AK certainly does not bode well for BBX as he's making his way forward. And just around the corner, they're lurking. They're just waiting for him to cross over. And as soon as he does, they'll spray him down.
Holding the same angle there, committing those 2 rifles in that direction is right cool. Very good way to play it out. They were angled away over from Monster as well, so in case he decides to go around the long-hand side, then it's not really too much of an issue. They can just play 1 back, trade things out. So JMC hold that round together. That's going to be 2-1 now. And Skeet back down to these Glocks. A single frag grenade has been purchased, the M67. There's no one here. A connector close enough by instead. It's actually going to do a little bit of friendly damage up towards Dotty. Never a great moment, really. Forcing KS to back up. He's got Remoy with him, and that's going to be the very simple close of that round. Just nothing unexpected there, really, guys. 3-1 now in favor.
If I'm going to do a reference like you do, that was sort of like the Omaha Beach landing.
Close enough.
when you go out of the boats, you're just forced one
What are they
out.
called, Robin?
Uh,
It's funny that your
the
name is
boats?
Robin, just like Volti's name was Robin, because then I can... Because I used to ask him these questions too. It's your turn now. What are they called?
The boats?
Yeah, the boat. Do you know this?
No, I don't. And actually, I have to wait up with that question a little bit because we have engagements in the server. Barry taking down one, getting the traded out immediately. Colibri down. He's getting a 2-man spray down just above connector. KS, he finds one, trying to go for the second with a turnaround, can't quite find it. BBX 3 frags already.
That flip around attempt was actually really close in knocking down BBX. There it finally comes in. Ironically enough from the same angle where he just dropped a guy.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating, man. BB really doing some great damage there. Pardon me, BBX. But sadly, it's not enough. He can't keep it together. 4-1 now here. JMC starting to pull ahead a little bit. Maybe Skeet should start trying to take a bit of a page out of JMC's book. You know, you start going for those super hard, fast takes just to simply not give your opponent enough time to even think about what's going to be happening next in the match.
Yeah, we'll see. Incendiary popped out towards the entrance. Ale actually finding a good headshot onto Remoy. That's one weapon down. Less hassle to deal with.
And remember, Remoy is also one of these players that has been a linchpin in leading these aggressive pushes across the map. So the fact that he gets punished for something like that could mean that it maybe sets him back a little bit in terms of the mental game. But we'll have to see now. KS is doing some good work with this M4. They're up against these pistols, still remember, and as we've just had illustrated to us oh so vividly, you have to respect them, but KS is on to his second kill. He's got his teammate with him there as well. Colibrian being very solid. And now BBX, the last man left with this Deagle.
So what was the name of the boats?
It's known as a Higgins boat.
It's a Higgins.
Higgins, yes, Higgins. The name Higgins, 2 Gs.
Okay.
They were also called like LCIs, Landing Craft Infantry. Then you had LCTs, Landing Craft Tank. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, man.
I don't know the exact number designation.
Oh,
stuff,
my lord.
Could probably figure that one out shortly. I think that if you ask me any question about stuff like that, I could probably answer it.
How big a brain do you have about this?
It's about the size of a peanut.
All right, fair enough. We'll see what happens, though, if the brains in-game are better for the teams that are playing.
Oh, I mean, surely they have to be, but that could also simply not be enough.
Oof.
We'll see.
Oof.
It's going to be tough. Ah, that's such a tough break there.
Oh, but Dory's managing to get the trade through the smoke.
Yeah, that's really important. Just having the ability to at least trade out like this is so crucial, right? Because if you don't have those 2 men ready in that position and you allow the CT to get the kill and then he can fall back towards site, then you've just given them, you know, a bone to chew on for free. Now, that's a really nice kill coming out from Ale and Connector. Dotty might actually decide to push through on this one, depending on if he has that support coming in, but it looks as if they might want to be taking this bomb through short, up towards Connector, and then rotate that back around.
Oh, no, not like that.
Another one.
You have so much utility to use, and yet you decide to stand in the middle of everything when the smoke dissipates. Luckily, Spade is there to catch out the trade, so he's at the very least keeping the lead in his team's favor now as they want to take over B. With Type was the only man trying to defend the bomb side. K is still stuck on A, now making his way over. With Molotovs coming in, Skeet are taking their time in order to clear out everything that's necessary, but KS with a great shot on towards Ale, and Type was there to chime in. It's only Spade left, bomb in hand, 22 seconds, he needs to make a move.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough. He's looking over towards Heaven. Again, knows the AWP is playing from there, but he has no idea about the second man, so he is going to go for this smoke plant. Bit of a fake there, turns around as well so he doesn't angle up towards Heaven again. 10 seconds now, time is ticking. He needs to make a call. He needs to commit to this one. He's again going to go for that fake. Fakes out one, and that's actually a really nice pick, but he doesn't simply have enough time. This is so unfortunate. So well played. Spade actually picks off KS as he decides to commit to that. That's an interesting decision. Economically, it's no problem here for the guys in JMC.
Yeah, I think all he wanted to do was try and get rid of the weapon because of the fact that you don't get any money when you stay alive as a terrorist. So instead, he tried to go for the kill, got punished for it, and you still have an AK left in Skeet's hands. So no need to repurchase that. So economy somewhat stays ±0.
At least it's going to be equal across the team, and that's a very important part. Yep. Now moving forward, BBX is actually going to open things up here, leading that charge with that Ingram. Doesn't find more than that. Ale is going to get dropped, so they will have that equalizer coming through shortly. Good spot here from Spade, but he simply doesn't have what it takes to drop him. He needs to rely on BBX once more to come in here with the SMG. 3 versus 3 now, and they have upgraded themselves to rifles. AWP is still there, but BBX is going to go down eventually into Colibri, and coming around Typers here on the left-hand side, they've forced the remainder of Skeet to back all the way down. The most important part here is the fact that they have control of the bomb, so if they could find one more pick and then from there, with this amount of time on the clock, they could take this bomb essentially wherever they want and then play off those trades.
The thing is, though, JMC has quite a lot of utility to use. They still have 2 smokes, 1 Molotov in their favor, so if they choose to use these wisely, like here on long, denying the Skeet vision, they can win just basically off of time. We'll see how well they can use. The Mad is getting taken down, though. Bit of mad decision making there.
Sit down. He looked at his body like fell onto that bench.
We'll see what happens. Dotty on long. Type was just around the corner. Bomb dropped towards short. And a flash is going to come in, but Dotty just behind the corner. Doesn't get flash. He's still very visible.
Huh.
Oh my lord.
I mean,
okay.
he gets into the smoke actually. It's kind of keep following those traces. Nice little adjustment, but the bomb is nowhere nearby. It's right there in the smoke, and he's going to walk straight on through into his doom. 7-1 here. JMC firmly in the lead.
That was exactly what I was talking about before when I was talking about usage of utility. They still had smokes to spare, and they used them at the correct time. Because their smoke in front of toilets, the bomb is just inside. There's no way Dota can go for it and still have somewhat of a fair chance at a duel. So now, 7-1, this is sort of a magic number for some teams.
Oh, it is indeed.
But it certainly doesn't look like it'll be the case for Skeet. They're just getting demolished. Forced into a narrow hallway.
And again, they stopped when the smoke came down. That was the big break in that strategy. Because if they would have just pushed on through, I would have had no problem with it. You just flash yourself through that smoke. A single flash, not more than that. But they didn't even try for it. I think what happened was he wanted to go through. The smoke blooms and he's like, oh god, I can't go. But then his team's like, go, go, go. And he's like, okay, so he hesitantly goes through the smoke. And if you hesitate for even but a second, that can cost you that round. As we saw that it indeed did cost them that round.
I've had a lot of flack at me for stuff like that happening.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't stop. You have to go. You have to keep going.
I know, exactly. So here we do have, moving on to the next round, Skeets are getting once more picked off 1 by 1. 2 members left, Deagle and an AK. LM3 3 Mad.
Like, honestly, I'm surprised that if you look at it again, the money here for Skeet is a little bit split. Ale at 2100, Spade at 1900. The fact that they haven't been able to make anything happen on any of these gun rounds. JMC have been just too solid. Overpass seemingly really being their map so far from every single time. I haven't seen them lose on Overpass yet. I've actually not seen them lose a single game yet. In the past like 3 weeks I've cast them.
That's rather impressive. That should show the other teams what they have to be on the lookout for. We'll see what happens. Quick spray down by Colorbean. 9 rounds for JMC as we move on to round 11.
I don't know, man. Like, if you look at it from Skeet's perspective, what is it they need to change up? Because right now, what they're trying to do isn't really working. What would you change here if you were their coach?
That's a very good question, because as of now, what I'm seeing from JMC is very solid team play. And what you have to do against solid team play is to just have solid team play, because you have to rely on the fact that you may have better individually skilled players. Right now, it's not working out for Skeet. As you can see, 1 man down for both of the teams. And even though I would say it does favor terrorists on this map, team-wise, I think it favors JMC. They know more. They are more comfortable making these tough in-game decisions, mid-round decisions. And if Ale cannot find 1 frag here, I think JMC is going to take this one home, because it allows them for more reinforcements to come in towards the B bomb sites.
Ooh, that was a short smoke that he threw right there, Colibrian.
Oh my.
Oh, Barry. Can't believe it, man. He gets away with it as well. And once more, the problem here for Skeet is they have no one to trade in many of these scenarios. Again, another one of those. Colibrian finds another. Finally, they reply. Ale drops him immediately with a nice headshot. But he's going to need more than 1 nice headshot. He needs to make it at least another. Makes that a second. Tries to pick over too many targets, and he's indecisive. Gets one at least, but no, Berry's there to follow up. That's going to be the double for him. And that's it. 10-1 now, double digits for the blue team on CT side. JMC, Jordan's Money Crew is the full name of that acronym. And yes,
something I want to highlight.
Money Crew.
Yeah, something I want to highlight is the fact that Berry and Colorbean managing to find 2 frags in the fashion that they did. It just points to the map knowledge. I think JMC knows the map way better than Skeet does, which may also be one of the reasons why they went into overtime but were so dominant on Mirage, because Skeet doesn't know Overpass that well versus Mirage.
And I think that comes down to the fact that it is a bit more of one of those puggy maps. Nonetheless, quick action here over towards short. 1-for-1 trades coming in again. No capitalization here from Skeet on finding that initial advantage in terms of the peak.
Oh, Dottie finding one, but gets traded out immediately. Skeet needs to make a move because the reinforcements are on their way for JMC, but they still aren't moving quick enough. There will be help from JMC for Colorbean. 1 man down already, 2 men left. Spade and Mad. Oh, the grenade does a whole lot of damage, and KS will find the last with the spray down onto Spade's head. And 11-1 for JMC. And how many rounds in a row did they win?
10.
Oh my lord.
They lost the pistol round. That was the only thing that went south for them. And or 11 rounds in a row. So, sorry, they've won 11 rounds in a row.
Okay. Yeah, we did see the scoreboard there for a little moment, and that just tells the story of how dominant JMC are on this map. They know the map inside out, knows exactly how to play it on CT side. We'll see if Skeet has a way back on CT, because this map is predominantly based towards the defending side. We'll see what happens. Oh, Skeet actually has a major opportunity on long as they manage to find the flank on JMC. That's only one, though. Still Remore to deal with. BBX there to help him out with a headshot, but the damage has already been dealt. Dottie finds one more. Colorbean, one more man on A. 2 men left. JMC, this is certainly looking to be Skeet's round. Indeed it will be, as Dottie and Spade finds their respective 2 kills.
So important that they find whatever they can right now. They're essentially clawing at scraps, because we do not have too many rounds left in this half, and starting things off here at 11 rounds 1 on CT side is still very good. Skeet really, really need to make this a 4-11. And I know it's not a good scoreline for them coming into the second half, but it's at least going to be the best they can make of a situation that is indeed very poor. Once again, JMC are going to be following things up with going for that trademark aggression over towards the middle of the map. Great utility use is going to force things back, but they do lose Dottie immediately, though, over towards B long. How are they going to recover this one? 2 men have taken decent control over towards A long, at least, so they can work with that. If they can find that initial pick on the rotation over, that would, of course, be a good start, but no, they lose a man in the middle to KS again with this AWP. He's so damn sharp.
There's nothing that JMC cannot do against Skeet. Just Skeet getting picked off left, right, and center. Ale does open up on KS on the A bomb side, but there's still 2 more to deal with. Ale just pushing out, doesn't give a damn, but it's not going to be enough. Gets traded out, but Remoy's there to help. Bomb down, and 1 more spray into a low health Mad. And 12-2 as we move on towards the last round of the first half.
And that's the eco broken. They've only got 2 rifles that they could afford. Could pick up a Galil on DD as well. Or I don't, 3 Mad? How do you say that? Is it 3 Mad? Is that his name?
I'm not sure. I'm just it's 3 Mad or Mad.
I've been saying like 3 Ma, DD, 3 Mad. I've been saying all 3 variations of that. But yeah, they've got pistol, 2 pistols and a submachine gun.
Oh, the smoke is in the way, and grenades comes in. That's a lot of damage done, but it doesn't stop Skeet from pushing in anyway. One dead member from JMC. Make that 2 as Skeet making their move in towards B. Colombian still alive and wants to make some work done. Managing to hide inside the smoke after getting the frag does allow for JMC to rotate around, but now as he dies, Skeet will get the bomb plant down. KS, the 1 man remaining with the AWP.
Great execution in Skeet. Super messy here. Not giving the CTs any opportunity to use the advantage of their rifles, but KS is going absolutely nuts with his AWP. Hot swaps over towards the AK. Still 1v2. Remember, he has this kit to work with as well and still a lot of utility. HE touches down a little bit. Doesn't do too much for him. Oh. But there it comes through. Spade will finally get that headshot clean. That's what he was looking for. 12-3. And they find at least a little bit at the end. But the question is it really going to be enough now as you swap things over in the second half? I don't know here. To be honest, I think it's looking very tough for them still.
Yeah, it's all about the pistol round. Skeet needs to make this one work, because if not, JMC, per the rule of thumb, they're going to get 3 rounds, basically for 2 extra rounds for free if they win the pistol. So things will be at 15-3 if we're just going by that. This is do or die for Skeet, in my eyes.
It certainly is.
JMC.
They have to win this pistol round now.
Quick push in towards B with 3 members actually stacked towards one on Heaven, and it's not looking good for Skeet. Oh, I'll take that back. They managing to find 2, make that 3 perhaps, taking a bit of time before they get the connections, but the connections will be made nonetheless. 1 member left, Remoy, and he'll get instantly taken out, and Skeet, just as they need it, they win the pistol round and allow them to have a chance of getting back into this one.
Really nice, clean pistol round coming out from them. So Skeet take both of those pistol rounds, by the way. Maybe that's sort of where they're feeling most comfortable in terms of the pistols. But we'll see. 12-4 still.
Oh.
Heavily in favor of JMC. This is a very cute, interesting little idea. I do like it when I see this. They sacrifice one man's economy and gear to give one player that AK with some decent utility, smoke and flashbang and armor and helmet. And then the rest of the team just forces up around that. So, yeah, I mean, looking at the firepower here, this one AK can be what makes or breaks it.
This is what they call the hero AK. This is something that you see in in the upper tier levels of Counter-Strike as well, where, for instance, you drop an AK to the hard fragger of the team. For instance, Simple and Navi, he usually does some sort of crazy stuff with the AK as soon as he gets it. And it's certainly paying off here, because Typo's already getting 1 kill, and Skeet has to readjust to that one, because they cannot allow more frags to go over to Typos and for JMC overall. Lots of flashes down towards Connector, but it's not going to be enough. Ale gets 2 before he goes down, and Typo's just waiting. His teammate is dying. The shotgun long range. The bomb has been dropped. 1 minute left on the clock, and Skeet are trying their best to get back into this. Typo's now finally making his move, but it's too late. His team is already dead.
This was so dangerous there for just a brief moment for the guys in Skeet, but this is such a good recovery coming in from them. In a round that was so messy. Oh, finds only 1. That could have been a flick shot and a half between this round or not. But Skeet hold it together now. 5 rounds on the board for them to the 12 of JMC. And now that T-Side's economy is completely shut out. This should be a good moment for Skeet to catch their breath, get a couple of extra rounds on the board, and then from there into the next gun round when JMC can really challenge. Then obviously that's going to be a bit of a tough one, but for now they can use this opportunity to catch their breath.
The issue with the round that JMC just did was that they were trying to play around the AK, but they didn't play around the AK. Typos got 1 frag towards long, but they didn't try to push the issue with Typos leading the charge. Instead, they were trying to get control over another area where Spade was just waiting with his auto shotgun. Nothing they could do. Typos tried his best, but alas, it was not enough. Dottie now with the open hand, getting dinged from far, far away. Pistols only on JMC as they're pushing in towards the A-bomb site, but they're slowly but surely, or rather quickly, getting taken out.
They're on head first into a meat grinder on that site. Not wearing anything to go with it, so here we are now. Finally, it's time for another gun round in the second half of map number 1 here on Overpass. 4 AKs, a Galil to prioritize that utility. I do like that. Good decision. A lot of flashbangs. They've got 3 mollies, 4 smokes. This is more than enough to go for a very good and committed take. And again, they're going to rely on having this fast tempo play to lead things in, and it is going to pay off. Spade is going to go down as well together with BBX, and that's already the 2 first initial frags gone over towards the B side. Trades are there, though, so it's not going to be completely for free. Barry's still lurking right there, lingering inside of the smoke. Now he gets pushed off, but not before they lose 1 more man to this AWP. And it's going to be a 2 versus 2 once more.
Oh, Lord, Skeet, though, with a quick rotation and 1 more frag. K is the only man remaining. 1 versus 2. He does hear the steps. He's just waiting for one of them to pop out. Gets the headshot on towards Dottie. Now 1 man left. Ale versus KS. Who will win this duel? It will be KS taking the clutch for the JMC.
Oh my god, that was so sick. My PC, like the one I'm also using as a spectator feed, slowed down. I don't know, because I think it's struggling with the hardware, but it sort of looked like bullet time. Like, oh my god, I got that in slow-mo. Like 10 FPS. It looked pretty sick.
Oh man, if we can get slow motion replays.
Bullet time.
Yeah, that would have been neat. That would have been awesome.
That was a great round there from JMC, though, in terms of initial execution. Messy throughout the middle of it, but great conclusion of it nonetheless. And now Skeet's economy is going to be somewhat strained. The MP5s again are going to lead the charge through connector. And they've already lost one man. That was Ale, who was going to be supposed to be their eyes and ears, but now they've been blinded. So they are in a little bit of trouble. Moving forward here, Dotty can be the man who makes the difference. He finds one and then backs up towards the side. This is a great decision being made. He's got the support flashbangs coming in from his teammates as well. And he's going to keep this position locked down. He's going to find one more. Oh, this position by Typos. He could have been the big playmaker, but at least he's made it into 1 versus 1. It's absolutely doable here for his opponent, KS. Unlucky for him, he's only armed with that Glock as a sidearm, which obviously isn't going to be great here. He's up against a FAMAS. Rapid fire versus the high firepower per round over the AWP. No mind that. He's actually going to swap over to this MP5.
Oh,
there it is. Great headshots. And then he goes back to the AWP. Perfect. Just absolutely perfect. So well played there by KS.
Once more into the fray, KS. Second clutch in a row. And he's certainly showing what sort of strength he possesses in Counter-Strike. Offensive. 14 rounds for JMC, and Skeet are down to forcing up with MP9s and C-sets. 1 deagle on Dotty, hoping that he can pull off some crazy headshots with that. But quick grenades from Skeet, pulling off a lot of damage onto JMC. Not the start that you wanted. And this is something that they do now all the time. Is this something that you've seen where they just changes up the tempo every other round?
They like swapping it. Oh, that's a pretty brutal peek coming through. Some damage being exchanged over towards B, but still manpower advantage for just a brief moment there for JMC actually, until BBX comes in and very quickly equalizes that scenario. Coming in now from the back lines as well. We've got the last rotation coming in from from Monster. They still have a single player lurking around over towards Connector. He's yet to make his way down. And the bomb is still not committed over towards this B-bomb site. KS, I think he's just hoping to see if anyone from Skeet is going to be a little bit aggressive. Look for some of those picks off early before they commit over towards the site. It doesn't seem as if it's going to be the case. Oh! He catches him while he's airborne.
No, it's
that's
actually
a huge
Barry.
Frag. Really?
Yeah, it was Barry that got the frag.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. It was still the airborne.
He must have... That's a freaking sick shot. Skeet now... With only these 2 players, 30 seconds left on the clock as well. JMC will have to get the bomb down eventually. Maybe 3 men can stop this though. Oh, he's looking at the gun. And he's going to roll down that side of that little walkway thing.
That gun was a poisoned apple. You did not want to take a bite of it. And that certainly shows because they get punished. JMC wins the round 15-6. And it's match point for the first map. Overpass.
Yeah, they have to go for this complete force, and they will have to keep forcing up for every single one of these rounds if they can start piecing them together. But thus far, yeah, JMC looking to be, in my opinion, from what I've seen in the past few weeks, one of the better teams here on Overpass, if not the best team on Overpass. We'll have to see. We still have a few more weeks to go, of course, so there's still time to see some changes in rosters and strategies and stuff like that. But again, it is going to be JMC on their final round. Their most decisive strategy to just go hard and fast over towards B. Now, walking into a very brutal crossfire, they find those 2 at least, so they've shut down the mainstay of the defense, but you still have those flanks to worry about. 3-man DD doing a fair amount of damage. Dotty also finding another one with his deagle, and now have upgraded himself to an AK. Almost as a session of gun game, but the bomb is still firmly in the control of JMC, and now they're going to rotate things over.
Oh, Colorine actually had a really good position down towards underground, but decides to back away now. Skeet will make the rotation up towards A, where JMC, they have to make a call. Where do we go? It's a 50-50 chance with B site. I would say being the correct one, because here on A, you'll be facing against 2 members from Skeet. You don't know where the angles were. Bear doesn't care. He finds one, gets traded out, leaves it up all to Colorine to try and clutch this one out, just as KS has been doing a couple of rounds before. 42 seconds, and Spade is working his way around Connector. Colorine needs to be worried about this flank, because if he's not, he's going to get stabbed in the back. Actually looks around and gets the shot on towards Spade, making this a one-on-one with 30 seconds left. Taps the bomb, hoping that he can lure the enemy out. He does, and finds the headshot onto Mad.
That's absolutely unreal. Nerves of steel. That's so sick. Look at that, 23 frags in the span of these rounds, and some of them were playing out relatively evenly, but again, it is going to be the guys from JMC who come out on top on Overpass, and I'm not too surprised still. I was hoping it was going to be a much closer game, but after the first 5 or 6 rounds, I was like, yeah, it's kind of looking very similar to the first set, which is very unfortunate, but nonetheless, good effort they did try. but sometimes trying your best isn't simply enough. Coming into the next map, I don't know, what was that going to be? Did you...
Mirage.
That's going to be... Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overpass, Mirage, and the last one I do believe was going to be Cash. This has been the
third time.
Story of the night.
Truly has. Well, guys, that was the end of that map. If you're just tuning in right now, this is, of course, the Nordic Championship. We are going to be heading back over towards Mirage very shortly, right after this break, so stay tuned.
if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We return once more with the Nordic Championship, and it is time for us to head over towards Mirage. So pack your sunscreen. It is time to go into game number 2 in this set. It is going to be right here on CT side. Once again, we are going to see Skeet starting things off. And it looks as if JMC over on the T side are looking to go for the set piece that we saw them execute previously in their other map versus question mark. And it worked out very well. Oh, hail! What a headshot. But meanwhile, the opposition in jungle is going to start losing some of their manpower at least.
Yeah.
But look at this long flank coming in. It is going to be Dotty to lead that charge. 4 versus 3 now.
We do have Colibri and Remore towards jungle. They actually are in prime position to flank around the members on CT spawn. Dotty doesn't have time to stop and think about the situation. They need to move in, but Trey's coming in left, right, and center, and Dotty is the man remaining for his team. The 16-year-old Swede that is trying to make a mark cannot win the round for his team. Instead, JMC will take it home. An important first round for them.
What a shame. They were so close yet so far. And again, we are back at it. So, looking over how things were in game number 1, we established JMC were obviously looking a lot stronger, and again, I think the storyline is somewhat similar to the first setup where they have a little bit more experience. Overpass, at least, is their playing ground. Here on Mirage as well, they were looking very good, but I think that Skeet has a better opportunity to actually equalize here in this map.
Absolutely, because in Mirage, it's a bit more played in every aspect of the game, so certainly Skeet, if you need to make a move, this is it. And certainly they'll start off by making a move. Scout headshot onto KS. Colmarine takes down Dotty in return. Making things nice and equal. Still control over mid for JMC. Smoking off Catwalk. Losing one member up towards window. So, very looking to cause some damage and havoc around that position. While Skeet, they only have 2 members on A site. Slow-paced game. And Remoy peeks out from Palace. Gets the first frag, but Ale's still around. He's lurking, and he's actually in prime position to do absolutely nothing. Oh, we have a quick console showing, and 2 members left. Skeet to make that 1. Mad MP9 in hand. 24 bullets, gets flashed, and JMC will just hunt for the kill. 5 health, and they're going in for the knife, but Colibri will steal it away at the last second.
Well, still, that's a very decisive victory. Not too unexpected yet again. The pistols, of course, hold that damage potential, but thus far, haven't really seen it out of Skeet. So 2-0, and well, as always, the storyline goes, you pick up the pistol victory, it should be another 2 more rounds easily in the bag. And that's probably what we are going to be witnessing here, you and I. And all of you guys watching there over on stream, of course, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to bring you guys these games. Grassroots CS is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And I'm hoping that these guys are going to be the next generation. No, they actually are the next generation of the big names that are going to be coming on through later on. Not tonight, it seems. Instead, it is going to be KS who takes the title of that. 3-0 now there finally. Buddy also nets in $1,800 US. Delicious money. Yeah, the big green man.
He was just printing it. Getting 3 kills. Here comes the money. And we see him well over $5,500. $5,800 actually. So he does have a smoke that he'll use towards jungle, I do believe. Maybe it's a connector smoke. I would like to see that.
Looks like a CT smoke here, actually.
That was a jungle smoke. Okay. That was thrown before. Now we'll see what happens. No CT smoke as of yet, but a Molotov to prevent him from pushing up any further. Doesn't stop Spade from getting a frag, though. Still makes some work done.
Oh, that's a very deep Molotov. This is actually a really well-placed one as well, because look at how far back it forces all of the remaining CTs, who had a chance to at least stop things. Colibri, though, with a great shot, immediately dropping Dottie as well. So now it's a 3 versus 3 once more. The numbers game is a very equal one. Colibrian is going to make that a very uneven trade. Make that 2 quick kills for him before he finally gets dropped. And now it's all in the hands of BBX. He's going to have to really pull a workload right now for his team. It's planted for short. He's got the double peak coming up set up here for him as well. One man he connected, the other one just on the other side there. Going to be jumping onto a short the moment that he sees him actually commit to that bomb. He's going to try to hold this down. Remember, he has no kit. Tries to force out the 1v1, but no, sir. KS is instead going to come out on top. That's going to be the closer, and that's 4-0 here. Skeet in very bad shape, because we are really looking towards that 5-0 starter for JMC, and that's, of course, such a huge detriment here for the CT side.
No kit, no smoke means no hope for them to actually clutch out the round. Hopefully, after this one, they can pull ahead with a couple of round wins. They need to get the duels in their favor. They've managed to get some pretty good kills, but all in all, JMC just staying one step ahead of them at every single duel that has been made. Deagles and a P250 together with a C-Sed for Skeet as they're spreading out on the map of Mirage. JMC, on the other hand, are just doing exactly the same. They're taking it slow and easy.
And again, this is something that they kept doing as far as we've seen them play out their Mirage games. Oh. Attempted kill there. Spade almost drops him. But Colibrian will get out of that one alive, which of course is very important here. They still maintain that ability to keep a man back. Now that what they can do is use Colibrian for that entry, trade him away, and then have someone with more HP come in for the follow-up kills. Still though, looks as if they are going to maintain a presence over towards mid.
Dottie actually has a rather good position as soon as that smoke dissipates, because if they don't expect it, that's exactly what will happen. BBX chimes in with 1 frag, gets traded out, but the damage has already been done. 3 members with Colibrian on 16 HP, just waiting for someone to push in through the smoke. That's Mad gone. Ale and Dottie with Deagles in hand. They've been making some work. That's a good headshot. Oh my lord, okay! That's how you do work with a Deagle.
That's all over the hands of Dottie, finding the double kill right over towards stairs, and then the final moment there of Ale. Oh my god, that's actually so sick. What a way to win that round. If that doesn't give them the confidence they need now to continue carrying this on, I don't know what will. Look at that. Double AWP coming straight out now. Skeet are done playing. They're going to bring out the big boys, but it looks as if JMC are going to set things up here for a very classic A hit. Once again, falling back into these very standard setups to try and test their opponents to see how solid they are truly. A lot of utility has been spent already here by the guys over on Skeet as well. So remember that once that has been popped, there's no going back. Here we go. The complete smoke wall is there. Ale is going to find the first one. Ramo actually a little bit messy with his peek through. Typus finds 2 very quick kills. That's crucial here for the guys on T side. They even find another one. That's Berry, but there comes something to help them out a little bit. Ale is going to drop KS at least. And they're both finding themselves at the same angle. No one in CT control. So it is going to be tough for them on the retake.
This is a dangerous round for Skeet as well, because this is the reset round. They need to take this one home. Ale just keeping his team alive with 1 frag. There's still more to be had. Open the AK. Bombs ticking. And they're making the choice. They will back away. They'll concede the round to JMC. And effectively, their money will be reset. At the very least, the silver lining, they have an AK cannon up to play with next round.
Yeah, and that could actually be enough to give them another round here if JMC are a little bit clumsy in the follow-up. But it's all going to come down to JMC making some mistakes and allowing the AWP to get into an aggressive position to do that damage. I think that's what Skeet should be looking to doing into this next round. They place him aggressively, bounce that forward. Now they're actually throwing it back over towards Dottie, and I don't really like this. I think that you want to put him in someone who's got a good spawn towards the front, push him through connector, maybe throw out flashback, because you can see they've still got a little bit of utility on these guys. However, they are going to throw it over towards Dottie and then just place him in a very conservative position over towards CPL. Would have much more liked to see him go hyper-aggressive with it for 1 pick at least, and then he falls back. But not going to be the case. Now he's rotated over though, so they have a very good understanding of that this is potentially something that could hit them very hard shortly.
I mean, you do have Spade towards connector. He's the one holding mid. So in case someone is trying to cross over towards catwalk, they'll get the information. So I think Dottie was in a prime position to actually help out on B side. Now, the grenades will come falling in. Ale finds one on the other side of the map, but that's not where the push is. The push is over towards B. One man down already, and BBX will not have a say in this one. And so JMC gets a safe plant. Typos. Oh, if the timing is right, it is. Dottie did not know that he was so far up and manages to jump away from danger just as Ale tried to get in towards the side. And he wants to push, he wants more, and he'll get it.
That's some great movement coming out from Typos. Absolutely brilliant. And they shut it down completely. Every single gun has been knocked out to the hands of Skeet. Economically speaking, Dottie actually forces up $1,900 from a 1950 like economic. I don't know.
No one else is buying.
Yeah, this freezes my brain, man. I think that Dottie was autopiloting a little bit too hard, and again, all of them are going to be buying upgraded pistols. At this stage, they've already got a fair amount of rounds on the board, JMC that is, so you can sort of slip up one more, make it a 1-7, and then from there make sure you have a good economy, buy up the rifles, get all the utility, because again, this lack of utility is really hurting Skeet. When they have it, they're doing a lot better.
Oh, Dottie!
What?
Oh, 2 quick kills on slope, and he wants more, trying to spray.
Oh, come on!
But can't get it. That could have been so much for Skeet. Only if he got on the 3rd frag, they still have the lead.
Look at the damage, though.
Exactly.
He's done so much damage to these guys, brought them to in kill range of these other Desert Eagles. This is going to be a completely different game now. It's essentially going to be a one-shot. These Eagles now truly are miniature orbs.
We'll see what happens. There's still a bit of utility on JMC. If used correctly, they can still snatch away the victory from Skeet. Considering the circumstances, they should not have been around, but Dottie pulls ahead with 2 important frags before going down. And Ale now making his way around. If he makes this move quickly enough, getting the information, then they can focus all their defense on the ace. But 1 man down already. This is not good for Skeet. Man only has a USP to boot. This is not how you want to be. He's just hiding behind fireboxes, letting all the smokes rain in. As soon as the plant comes down, that should be his sign to move. He goes in, but won't get anything done. And his teammate fell right before he did. 7 rounds for JMC.
And again, the setup was there initially. There was some potential for them to close out that round, finding themselves another victory. But JMC played it out very well. Some of those peaks were a little bit risky, of course, but you have to take some risks, especially on the T side. And thus far, they've been just holding it together very, very well. Again, I think that from comparing this to the first map that we saw JMC play out, and then from how Skeet played their set on Mirage, I think, again, it's looking very similar in the sense that JMC have this tight team experience really nailed down to the bone. Whereas on the opposite end, Skeet are still struggling a little bit there. They've got some very strong fragging power, don't get me wrong, but it's very often simply not enough to cut it when you have a team that not only matches you in terms of raw firepower, but also the ability to rotate that firepower correctly across the map.
Just falling short every single time as they want to try and take the duel. Barry getting the frag onto Ale, and control is lost for Skeet. One more round will fall in favor of JMC. As you've been mentioning, they've been doing quite the dominant performance, and they are showing no signs of stopping. This is just a runaway train, and Skeet, they're just the poor victims standing in the tracks.
Yeah, it's looking very grim for them, man. Only a single round here on CT side. 8 rounds on the board for the terrorists. Down 1 map as well, remember that. JMC in the lead with a very decisive victory there of 16-6 on Overpass. They've got a ways to go if they want to swing back here to go into map number 3 on Cash. Hopefully they have the best T-side in the world when it comes down to it. This is actually a very nice push. Catches Berry off guard. Same time they actually lose another one in Colibri. Slight equalizer comes in and Ale gone. Remember that the economy of a Skeet was never really that great in this round as well, so the fact that they've done this damage, brought it down to 3 versus 3 is of course very impressive, and nothing short of very positive for them. But it's about keeping it together now.
So Dottie, what he did was getting a lot of information for his team, but could not translate it into actual favor. So here we have a 3-on-3 situation with a bomb towards T-spawn, 1 in Palace. The man from Skeet and Palace died, forcing the rotation back for Skeet. You need to cover the A site. BBX, perfect position. Typos, he's going to check the corner, and BBX is down for the count. Only Mad left on the A site with Spade running for his life over but needs to be careful because he doesn't know where the rest of JMC might be. Lots of utility on JMC to boot. Smoke goes down the plant, or rather a Molotov. The bomb plant should go down shortly.
Just a small thing like that, such as checking that box position in connector, is a great show of routine, of having that baseline nailed down so well that even in a scenario like this that has been so chaotic, where you've lost 2 team members, where you've had the equal numbers and they have had the defensive advantage, you still have the focus to check those positions.
This is an important moment because I want to see where Remo is positioned. I think he's towards Shadow, and what his mission is at this point is to delay the bomb defuse. He has a Molotov in his kit, so as soon as CTs want to make a move towards it, he's just going to throw it out, delay them so they cannot defuse the bomb. But it doesn't matter anyway because they are not making any attempts on trying to get to the bomb. They just wanted some exit frags. You actually have Mad picking up an AK on the way back to safety. And JMC still going strong.
They certainly are, man. You know, Crasher, coming back into this here, together with you for the Nordic Championship. Again, another season with you. The fact that we get to see this at the very start, a team that I've been sort of talking very highly about, the fact that they perform this well, it makes me very happy to see.
Yeah. And it's also rather funny because I've seen some of the names before, like Remo, Colibri, and Barry. Some new/old school players, especially Barry, he's been playing since 1.5, I believe, something like that. So it's fun to see new names coming in together with old. But Skeets, they don't want to have any respect for that. Instead, they'll try their best in order to win the rounds necessary to have a fighting chance. But as long as JMC are doing the things they're doing, it's going to be a hard, long fought battle. 2 members for JMC, though, certainly looking brighter than the previous rounds. Skeets cannot throw this away.
Oh, they certainly cannot. That's a very nice shot coming in there. Now Colibrian left alone. The odds really favouring Skeet right now. They should be able to very easily secure this round as long as they don't give Colibrian these 1v1s. Something that they actually ended up doing a fair amount there on Overpass. They cannot repeat the mistakes of the past.
So Colibrian just revealed his position by throwing out the flashbang over the wall, and so it should be focused towards A. You actually have Spade rather far back on CT, so he'll be the linchpin for this if Ale does not hit his shots with the MP5. 30 seconds, and he's certainly taking his time. Smoke goes out, Ale pushing up towards stairs, but not far enough to actually spawn him out. There we go, and that's the spray down for Ale. Skeet, finally with their second round of the game, 12 rounds in. Still a long way to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And here you see actually how many rounds in between that JMC have won for every round that Skeet has. 4 rounds at the beginning, Skeet won 1, then JMC 5 more until Skeet finally got their second round. That says a lot.
Well, I like this slight aggression coming in right now from Skeet, that they're trying to do this push on towards short. Spade should absolutely find at least 1 frag here, then he can drop down, rotate over. He needs to not screw this up. That's a good flick over towards Barry. Can he find the second one? That would obviously be a very nice extra little gift to him. And then from there, that would be the numbers game equalizer as well, giving his team a little bit more maneuverability across the board. Still, with 4 men standing, JMC have enough confidence and enough manpower that they could spread themselves a little bit across the map. Already, Colibrian finds a little bit of payoff there through Kitchen. He's going to drop the first man. Ale now coming forward. Ooh, he spots him close range, but he's still going to lose that dual. Pika's advantage not helping him one bit, and there it is. BBX also falls to the man coming out, delayed out of Palace. And that was even the man with the bomb. Oh, man, it's just falling apart again. Skeet now hard reset economically.
It was great discipline showed by KS on Catwalk because as soon as Barry went down to the AWP, there was KS just backed off. He did not want to take the duel because of his low HP. Instead, waited for the incendiary to come up towards Catwalk, allowing him for a safe rotation in towards A side. And after that, JMC just doing JMC stuff. Go in towards A side, kill everyone there, and get the bomb plant. Win the round. Easy peasy money.
And remember now here, this is the force play from Skeet in this first half. They've already lost 1 man who went aggressive over towards Palace, looking for one of those cheap early kills. Found nothing. CPL being completely smoked. Spade, though, great shot from that scout. Needs to find more damage than only 1 kill, though. As we've seen, even though they've had the man advantage, 4 versus 3, it sometimes hasn't been enough. Not even some of those, 5 versus 3 kinds of scenarios.
Oh, KS. 1 more shot onto Mad. Opening up window. If JMC wants to push in through that. Meanwhile, Colorbean, he's a little bit hesitant on actually going out, which is correct because Spade is just around the corner. That scope will reveal his position, but Colorbean stays put, gets spotted out. Barry gets the frag onto him, and one member on A site. That's Dotty and Ale on B site. They're split up. They need to try and reconvene somehow. But JMC, they have members all around the place, and there's not a single safe spot that Skeet can actually move through without getting tagged up by JMC.
A small thing there, as you mentioned that around Connect, I don't even think it was about him being hesitant about going for that aggressive peak. This is kind of far back. I just want to sort of, talk about this to highlight how well JMC are playing right now. Because you saw that he had a teammate, I believe that was Barry on short.
Yes.
He allows him to set up that peak just parallel with the stack of bricks on short so that they get the double peak. And in case Barry goes down, he can just step out wide and then force push and grab that kill in return, guaranteeing them another man advantage, bringing it down to 1 versus 4 instead. Or pardon me, 1 versus 3 instead. So it just really highlights how coordinated and solidly JMC are playing right now. That the communication is on point. And one thing I love so much is about the fact that they're not being indecisive. Their entry fragger is going straight through. The second man in is also very quick to follow up as well. As you can see right here, even though completely fast, he doesn't even start backing off to block his teammate inside of Palace. They're just going to keep walking out onto the side. Spade now with his scout comes in once more. Does a little bit more cute damage. KS tags him up significantly but takes a shot in the chest in return. So now 2 of those players very low. Essentially the HP game, very equal. But still. We'll have to see if they can actually close this one out. 3rd round on the board for Skeet would be absolutely great for them. But it's a 2 versus 2.
2-way case versus a Deagle and a Scout, and certainly it should be JMC that wins this round.
Okay.
Deagle just pushes in through the smoke, the AK in hand now. Low HP KS, that's been tagged up by the Scout earlier. The Molotov comes out, that's great delay by KS, but he gets taken down by the C-Sed, and that should be the round for Skeet. But he doesn't have the kit.
No kit!
Oh no!
Don't be a loser, buy a diffuser!
Oh, not like this.
But they didn't have the money for it, and of course they couldn't prioritize something like that.
Spade.
Buy
that merch.
That's actually so painful for them.
Oh, that's awful.
This is going to be the final round in this first half as well. Well, at least Spade had enough cash to upgrade himself into an AWP. Oh man, it's still painful.
It's looking grim, that's for certain.
Oh, it really is, man. 12 rounds on T side. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw something like this.
Quick push in towards B, and immediately Colorbean opening things up, but Spade's there to retaliate. 2 op shots for him as BBX falls to Typo's AK, but Spade's still alive. He's in a good spot. Flash comes in. It's not affected, but that's the AK instead doing work. Dotty finds the rotator. That means the flank is gone. Mad does not have to worry about that, but needs to make a call. Where is the enemy going to come from? That's the close angle he did not expect, and Dotty's alone.
Oh man, that angle that Sam had was really so strong. It had a lot of potential, but just a little bit too slow on that trigger pull, not finding that head immediately, and that costs him. Right now, the level of play from this team, man, it's looking absolutely unreal in comparison to all of the opposition they've run up against. 13 rounds here in the first half on T side. I mean, what are we going to say about this?
It's just, again, this has been the story of the night. Complete stomp by JMC, Skeet managing to stomp out their opposition, Barashao. I mean, it looked like Skeet had a very good composition in the team, like how they were playing it out when they were meeting up against Barasho. But now against JMC, it's a whole different level of class. It's rather insane to see, but alas, we are witnessing it, and now JMC on the defense. We'll see what they do against this quick B push as everyone from Skeet wants a piece of the cake, but that's Typos getting the first frag, opening up for his team 4 versus 4 as Skeet wants to try and force their way in towards that side. It's going to be a massacre as bullets are hailing through the air, left, right, and center. 2 men down.
Oh,
like
nice
that one
headshot.
man for Color being the only guy left in kitchen.
Dotty doing some great damage here individually. Looking for that final head. Colibri all alone. He does have that body armor to work with, but it's all about those headshots anyway. And at this stage, I mean, you're not really looking at body shots too much. It's not going to be too decisive in that regard. Colibri, I mean, he has nothing to lose at this stage. He's going to keep trying to get those kills, but no, sir. 3-man actually is going to be the man to close things out. That's going to be a very, very important win here for them. This could potentially be what keeps them alive for a little bit longer so far in this second map, in the other half on Mirage. 13-3 still the scoreline. Obviously, JMC with a massive advantage, but Skeet could slowly bring their way back into this. But they have to keep playing in such a frustrating way now, right? Because they can't plan ahead. They can only think about 1 or 2 rounds in advance.
Exactly, and Dottie opening things up, just pushing in through mid, doesn't have fear in his body. He's a machine. He wants to push forward, open things up for his team, and more he shall get. But Leroy here may be a thorn in the side if he gets that frag. Oh my lord, okay. Ailes actually acting like a bodyguard, jumping in front of the bullets. And JMC, one by one they fall. Color being left alone. Not, oh, he does actually find the frag on with the C-set, falls back, reloads. But now the remaining 3 members from Skeet will regroup. Make themselves a little bit harder to spot out.
Might have an encounter right now here with Spade inside Palace, and there it comes through. Losing 2 members, which isn't the end of the world here. Nice for Skeet to maintain this. If they can keep carrying this momentum further on into the gun round, that's going to be the big breaking point, really. Where if they take it, we could very easily see them go up to a, what's that going to be, a 7-13 scoreline. And then from there, they continuously take it a little bit slow. And I think if they manage to reach double digits here before JMC reach map point, I think that they could still have some decent chances at actually coming back into this one. But it's all going to come down to JMC, and if they make any mistakes, their CT said last time we visited them here, Mirage was looking very clean. So I'm not really expecting anything buggy like that, but you never know.
Yeah, Dottie dying there on short actually gives Skeet a whole lot of information because he spotted out 4 members on the B bomb site. So Skeet taking the opportunity, planting the bomb at A, and forcing JMC to make a move. BBX actually getting a whole lot of information just by standing at this corner. Mac-10 in hand, doesn't matter because here comes Ale and Mad. Together with the AK and MP5, they smash down 3 players, leaving KS alone, and Spade will not allow KS to hold on to that AK.
Yeah, great kill. They're so quick on that trigger pull, finding their head. Looking at the money now, though, here it is. This is the big boy round where the guns are going to be coming into play. M4s across the board, a little bit of utility as well, and good discipline from, 2 of the members of JMC not buying that helmet. But at the same time, I guess that I'm being a little bit nitpicky here, as you could maybe expect an SMG or 2 mixed into this. But nonetheless, here we are now, and this is going to be the real big round, the one that has so much meaning for both of these teams, but especially so for Skeet. Colibri wants to go through the smoke. Oh, he's so close. It's going to fade right there, and it is going to favour Dottie. Good opening right now for them. They could potentially play off of this one. Yes, they will. Going to go straight on through. KS gets dropped as well, so that's a 5 versus 3 advantage right now. Goes down to a 4 versus 3 as they find the one man defending further onto the side. Gets Remoy in the backside as well. So now 2 versus 4. This is a great start of this gun round here for Skeet.
No utility except for that lone flash on Typos, and surely he's not going to be able to use that anyway. Dottie takes him down, Dottie takes Barry down to boot, and so Skeet working their way up 6 rounds. We're starting to see a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, 4 rounds now back to back here for Skeet. JMC, of course, need to slow things down a little bit themselves. I guess that now going for this sort of semi-buy. Not a huge fan of this, to be honest. Again, I'm going to reiterate, if you haven't heard me say it already, like 50 million other times I've said it. I'd much prefer to see them hold on to their money. Oh my god, actually, what's going on here? Remoy finds 2 kills. Typus chimes in as well with that Desert Eagle. That's going to be 3 people dropped right now here for Skeet. Don't let it fall apart right now. Don't let it slip between your fingers. It's absolutely slipping between their fingers right now, Crasher.
Oh, not like this, Tenchi. Matt is the only man left. He still has an and Barry.
Oh no, 14th round right now there for JMC. Skeet.
Not like this.
You have the cash, but do you have the willpower? That could have maybe been the straw that broke the camel's back here for them in the mental game.
2 AKs picked up by JMC from that force buy, by that semi-buy you were talking about. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's a little like push in the back. Go forward, slaves.
Only forward, no backwards. Or what was the quote? I can't remember.
Order
enemy at the gates.
Order 226. Ah, don't remember. 227 or 226?
I don't know.
Anyway, they open things up in 1-for-1 trades. Some utility going out as well. Oh, doesn't matter. He's not going to spot out the man. It's going to be Spade who drops him instead in that reply. KS finds one more though. 3 versus 3 again. Both of these teams in this second half have actually been a lot more even in terms of how they're playing things out. So many times we go down to these 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2 kind of scenarios where the numbers game is equal but somewhat reduced. Berry doing a ton of damage. That's going to be the 2-piece for him. Trying to go for that third. He knows he's got the last player isolated. He's going to walk straight into the crosshairs of Typos, and that's going to be at 15th round right now here for JMC and map and match point.
They were not prepared for Berry pushing in from CT spawn, and so opening up with the 2 frags, Skeet falls apart, and it's match point. 15-6, round 22, and this may very well be the last round that we see. Oh, that's a neat little smoke that we're seeing.
Okay.
Yep.
Smoke, very standard stuff going on right now. Playing standard though, I think that's when JMC shines the most, when they come up against something like this. Again, because of how stable their set pieces seem to be. But still at the same time, it's really hard to break that kind of setup as well. Like, you need to be very technical.
Ooh, Dottie through the smoke with the Deagle.
Good
now
start.
they're going to be pushing in towards the B-bomb site. Dottie once more trying to pick him up, but that's Ale instead chiming in with a little bit of help from his friends. They take over the B-bomb site. Remoy catches out BBX trying to cut off the rotation, but it doesn't matter because the damage has already been done. Remoy together with Color Bean, they find one. They want to make their move in towards the kitchen area. However, Off is nowhere near to be able to help. And so they back off. JMC, they have plenty of rounds to play with, so they concede this one.
Yeah, and this is a great call. It's going to spare them economically a little bit, as they've got a small amount of money banked up as well. So they, let's say they, obviously they're going to give up this round, and then they go into the next one without buying too heavily. Even if they do buy, they will have enough money within the next 2 rounds off of the back of that anyway. So it's going to be pretty solid. Nonetheless, one detail that I'm really glad to see here from Skeet is the fact that they were not pushing over towards short. They were not pushing too far in towards B apartments, because they know that if they overextend this, they lose another man. Every single AK lost is essentially going to be very hard to replace for them, because they have to make the decision between AKs and utility. You can't pick both. As you can see there for Ale, for instance, who's down to $0 and 100 there for Spade.
You can't have the cake and eat it, or how the quote now went. With that being said, Skeet, they need to make another move in towards the A-bomb side. Ale picking up 2 before falling to the flames. And so is JMC making their rotation in towards A, hoping that they can deal some reinforcement, but with Berry gone, they have to make they have to reconsider.
2v2 once more. It's going to go down to another one of these nail-biting, super close duels, but oh no. Left alone. Spade, obviously, he's been leaving so much left to be desired here in some of these rounds, but in the last moments here of the second half, he's really been stepping up, but no, sir. KS is going to be the man to close things out, and that's going to be the final blow here. Skeet going to be dropping out on Mirage, and it will be JMC who take victory here, 16-7.
JMC just dominant performance from start to finish throughout the night. Winning the first one 2-0, and here winning the second one 2-0, with quite the score to show for it.
16-6 on Overpass, 16-7 on Mirage. I mean, they started things off there on Overpass 16-4, and then another 16-4. They haven't allowed any of their opposing teams to go up to even double digits thus far. That's super, super sick. Great start for JMC here in this tournament.
It's definitely a sign for times to come for JMC. I'm certainly looking forward to see how the teams are going to adapt to this sort of playstyle that JMC have. It's powerful, it's dominant, it's quick. And as soon as JMC has their foot on the gas, they're not going to break.
I don't even think they have brakes. I think they've like taken them out because they just keep going. No,
cut the brake fluid.
Honestly, jokes aside though, I think that they have looked to be, in my eyes, over the past few weeks that I've followed them, to be one of the more clean-cut teams around this tier of play. And I think it's super fun to see their development, right? Because now over the next few weeks, we are going to be following them to see how far they can go, and especially how they will be doing under really heavy pressure. Because once they get into the semi-finals and the finals of things here in the Nordic Championship, that's when things are really going to start narrowing down, and the pressure will keep rising.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the teams will fare off. It's just the beginning of the Nordic Championship, ladies and gentlemen. We still have quite a bit to go. With that being said, is there anything else you want to say?
I mean, yeah, actually there is. This is, it's super fun to be back. And of course, it's so fun to have all of you guys, many of you making a return, hanging out. And then of course to have to see the players go at it again, to be with you. I'm not going to be here on the 8th. So I'm going to be handing over the reins to you, and I hope you'll take care of everything here, the studio and all of the snacks and stuff like that.
You know, I'm going on a diet. I can't.
You're on a diet?
I can't eat snacks.
Oh,
I'll see you, Jeff, man.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh well. So, you know, hopefully it's going to be another good set of games coming up. You guys heard it, right? Sunday, same time, same place. Don't miss it. Because Monday, pardon me.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
I am getting ahead of myself. I'm like,
you want to get to the grand finals already,
dude. like I am actually so keen to see how this is going to be developing.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I apologize because I'm a little bit all over the place. Thank you.
It's all right.
I think I'm growing old. I think that's it.
Hey,
we're
the same age.
Like, yeah, but you know, like I age quicker because I do like stupid stuff. You don't.
Oh man. Either way. With that being said, I'm also extremely happy to be here with you casting again. It was some time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been throwing off a bit of rust here tonight, and hopefully it's just going to go on topwards. Either way, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thanks to Challenger Mode for making this possible. We'll see you guys on Monday at the same time, 7 p.m. Don't miss it. See you guys later.